Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from MRC Newsbusters, America's Media Watchdog. And I thought this would be pretty interesting too. It's kind of along the lines of the last couple of videos that I put out about Joe Biden and his the cover-up of his condition, I will say. And this one's from May 19th, and it says covering up the cover-up. ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS spent only 7 minutes on Biden decline bombshells. So you've probably seen this man in the picture here. That's Jake Tapper, wrote a book that he's holding right there about, the condition of the president, even though he himself was a big part of the reason why the people on the left didn't seem to know that it was happening, and everybody on the right did. It's because we don't listen to Jake Tapper. So he's basically, like it said in the title, the cover-up of the cover-up sort of thing. So it says, on Tuesday, CNN anchor Jake Tapper's new book, Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, its cover-up, and his disastrous choice to run again, is officially out. Is this actually an Amazon link to it? Okay. It's just another Newsbusters article. Okay, I was going to say, it's highlighted. I'm like, they better not have linked it to the actual book. Like, hey, here's a book that we're about to rip to shreds. Go buy it or something. But anyway, it says, prior to its release, bombshells were dropped about how Biden didn't recognize longtime associates, even actor George Clooney, who does look completely different now almost. So, whatever. So how much time did the broadcast networks, that's ABC, CBS, NBC, and PBS, devote to the recitation of Biden's shortcomings long known by conservatives but suppressed by Tapper and his press colleagues? It says MRC analysts looked at ABC, CBS, and NBC's evening and morning news programs, as well as PBS's NewsHour from May 13th through the morning of May 19th, and found that they spent a grand total of 7 minutes and 16 seconds on the reporting from Tapper and his co-author Alex Thompson. It says most of that coverage, 6 minutes and 17 seconds of it, that's only, so it'll be 59 seconds left. So 6 minutes and 17 seconds was aired on NBC. It says ABC spent only 37 seconds on the topic. CBS offered just 22 seconds on the Tapper book disclosures. PBS's NewsHour did nothing on the Tapper-Thompson book. The broadcast network swept it all under the rug just as they hid Biden's decline before he dropped out of the 2024 race. Wouldn't expect PBS to say anything because they'll just run interference for Democrats whenever they can. And same with the other networks, but at least, NBC, which I'm kind of surprised at that, but NBC was doing the most. It says these networks have covered up their own cover-up. It says Sunday's news that Biden had been diagnosed with prostate cancer was appropriately treated as sad, but it also allowed the likes of NBC's Kristen Welker to brush off any further talk of Biden's decline. Yeah, that's the one thing is like you can't do it anymore because, well, this is bad, and before she was one of the people too that was like, no, he's fine. So the Frank Drebin standing in front of the fireworks factory in the Naked Gun, like there's nothing to see here. Please move on. So this is on the May 18th NBC Nightly News. Welker noted this was already a challenging time for former President Biden and his family. A new book is set to come out in a matter of days that argues that the president's inner circle tried to conceal the state of his mental decline. Welker then pivoted. The question, moving forward, will the tone shift? Will they shift that conversation? As on the May 14th edition of NBC's Today Show, a co-host teased the Gabe Gutierrez segment, and he's been pretty bad at this, that guy, saying that the book was all the talk of Washington. For now, not much of that talk was actually aired on the broadcast network evening and morning shows. It says, while the Sunday Roundtable is the last paragraph, while the Sunday Roundtable shows were outside the study parameter, it should be noted that there was a discussion of Tapper and Thompson's book on the May 19th editions of ABC's This Week and NBC's Meet the Press. On the May 18th edition of CBS's Face the Nation, there was no mention of the Tapper-Thompson book, but there was discussion of Axios's, and there's no apostrophe there for Axios, should be after the S, release of Special Counsel Robert Hur's interview with Biden. There was also a brief mention of the Axios story on the May 17th of NBC's Today that did not report on the Tapper-Thompson book disclosures. So the whole point here is that they're not talking about the thing that they didn't want to talk about in the first place that we all know is going on. And the news networks, the mainstream news here, and, one government-funded one, just not bringing it up. So what do you think about this in the comments below? Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.